Thank you for joining us. Today we are going to go over how to do a basic homing routine using the Snap2Motion software from Maji Systems. So let's start our application where you would start many applications on PowerUp, which is our auto start feature. Once we drag auto start onto the screen, everything below that will commence upon PowerUp. So I might want to set up some basic parameters. I might want to turn the motor on. You can set up speeds and accelerations. I'll set up my accel. I can also right click and duplicate blocks. Once I place them, then I can only change one parameter to basically change the entire system. Also would want to have a speed setting, though it won't be used in this example. So for this example, we're going to commence our homing routine via an event. So we're going to go with a start button, so our on event, and then we will assign input number 1 to be our start button. On input number 1, we want to commence motion. So we will jog, let's say in the negative direction. Then we want to wait until we see an input, our home sensor. And in this case, we'll use input number 2 to be our home sensor. After we see that sensor, we want to stop our motion. And then we're going to want to back off to the edge of the home sensor before we call ourselves home. We could recreate these 3 blocks again, or we can right click and say duplicate and go right here. So we're going to creep off of it. So I'll go with a slow positive move. And we wait until input 2. We actually need to wait until the opposite of input 2 now. So we wait until the input is off. Then we stop our motion, and then finally to call it position 0, we will say axis 1, set actual position to 0. One thing that's nice about the Snap2Motion software is once you've got a configuration that seems like it works and you want to duplicate that for other axes, you can simply do that, right click, duplicate. And now we might want to still commence on input 1, but now we want to be homing axis number 2. And so we'll change all of these to be axis number 2. By the way, on the setup page, you can rename your axes to be something meaningful for your actual application. The other thing is we're not going to be homing to the same input, so let's say we're homing to input number 3 now. And we have just created concurrent homing between axes 1 and 2. Thank you for joining us, and look forward to seeing you on the next training episode.